What's going on, everyone? Sad day for New York City Transit. Sad day for the riders and workers of New York City. Um, there's a lot going on. A lot going on. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to unwrap here. There's a lot of things, and I've been talking about this personally for forever. Since I've become a worker for New York City Transit, I've been talking about this forever. And we just got to unravel and unpack a few things. First of all, uh, condolences, speedy recovery to the riders, to the workers who were involved with this horrific incident. My prayers go out to you. Um, we in trouble. My motto remains the same. If they can't protect the workers of New York City Transit, how can they protect the riders? Now, a lot of people is going to come on and say, well, how can you prevent this type of thing? What can be done? It starts with the NYPD, right? It starts with their enforcement. Just this weekend, I received plenty of videos. I mean, not even videos, pictures. Matter of fact, I did get a video of NYPD hanging out in our rooms, not being visible to the public. If you notice, a lot of these shootings, a lot of these crimes do not happen in front of the police when it comes to the subways, right? You rarely hear, if any, of a police shooting inside the subway, of them protecting another passenger or themselves from being harmed. You rarely hear that. When when we present these issues to New York City Transit, to the NYPD about police deployment, they have no answer. You have all of these supposedly smart people, supposedly intelligent people saying that they know what they're doing when they really don't know what they're doing. Even when you look at the facts of this case, this shooting, um, it basically ended at 36th Street at a gas station. Everyone in transit knows, who works for transit knows what a gas station is, specifically speaking, conductors and train operators. For years, I've been asking for 24/7 security at gas stations. There should be a police officer 24/7 at gas stations. There should be absolute gas stations should be the last place crimes occur because of the police presence. And I'm talking on the north and southbound platform. There should be police presence. Absolutely no police presence at that station. Let's bring up something else the MTA love to brag about, and we come to find out it's untrue. Oh, we have cameras working on every platform in this system. The cameras are working. We seen that wasn't true when Garrett Goebel got killed. I got assaulted last year. We see that wasn't true. We just today a mass shooting on the subways, and there's no surveillance cameras that's working at 36th Street, a gap station in New York City Transit. Whoever was responsible for that should be fired. Whoever is responsible for that should be fired. Now I'm gonna touch on something with Mayor Eric Adams real quick. Now, Mayor Eric Adams only been in office for 90 days. We can't forget that, right? He also was a former police officer in the subways. We cannot forget about that, right? And he did put together a plan to help increase the subways in the system. He got chiefs going into the subway system to make sure everything is good. Now, I don't know if y'all know how that worked. That ruffles a lot of feathers, right? Mayor Adams ruffled feathers when he did that. But it's apparently and abundantly clear that that's not enough, right? That's not enough. Police officers are still hiding out in our crew rooms. They are still sleeping in our crew rooms. But nobody don't want to address that. Now I guess this is the time that we must address it. This is the time that we must address this issue, right? Just a couple of weeks ago, I was taking workers to go buy bulletproof vests. How you guys feel? Everybody hitting me for a bulletproof vest now. The subways are not safe. If you see some of those videos, some of those pictures of what happened today, it looks like it happened in Ukraine. No, but it happened in the allegedly best city in the world. It happened in a system that's unsafe, and nobody is listening to the workers who spending 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours in the system telling them that it's not safe. We have our own company not mentioning anything about this. This is not even the union number one priority. Everyone like the virtue signal and say, yeah, safety, 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 because it sounds good, but nobody is making sure that the workers and riders of New York City Transit is safe. Nobody. Not one person. They all talking, no action. When I went in front of the media the other day and I took workers to go buy bulletproof vests, the MTA was trying to downplay everything that I was trying to say. And they're around here talking about it's safe. It's safe. The system is safe. This system is not safe, ladies and gentlemen. It does not get any more clearer than this. I guarantee you this will never happen at 2 Broadway or during a board meeting because it's safe up there. The people who saying that it's safe is safe. We are not safe. You had this serious crime happen in the subways, and they sending out emails and texts 3 hours later after numerous family members done called us, after hearing it on the news ourselves. Why aren't we hearing this from the company as it happened? They make sure to give you a Dan expeditiously, but they don't make sure you safe expeditiously. Somebody make it make sense. This makes absolutely no sense. And I really need you guys to share out this video. You guys need to share out this video because I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in. Just at the last MTA board meeting, I challenged MTA chairman Jan Oliba on is it safe or not. And he tried to make a mockery out of what I was talking about. He tried to make a mockery out of what I was talking about. And then tried to say, hey, I ride the subways. I go to my sister's house all the time without security. I challenged Jan Oliba 2 weeks ago to meet me in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn at an event he was speaking about with no security. And he said he would do it. He lied. He was there with armed security, armed MTA police. He lied though, ladies and gentlemen. The subways are not safe. The subways are not safe. Right? And I advise, this guy is still on the loose. I advise nobody to go to work, specifically speaking, train crews, station agents, and cleaners. If you work in the subways, MOW, it's not safe. This guy is still on the loose. Nobody don't know what's going on. And they're going to have a problem because a lot of these station cameras are not working. This is not a game, people. They keep saying they want you to remain safe and vigilant. The only place you can remain safe and vigilant right now is at your home. That's the only place you can remain safe and vigilant right now, and that is your home. We are no longer going to negotiate our safety. It's either they're going to protect us or not. Unfortunately, we work for a company where we're going to have to take safety into our own hands because they sit there and they lie. There's no way possible someone should have been shot or a mass shooting going into 36th Street, a Gap station, where I have asked for 24/7 police at Gap stations. There should be face-to-face reliefs when it comes to the NYPD at some of these stations. Some of these stations should not be unmanned. But you know where it's not unmanned? At the turnstiles, mostly in black and brown communities. That's where it's not manned. That's where it's heavily manned at. There's no police on these platforms. There's no police on these trains. All the police is at 2 Broadway. You know, yo, just think about being trapped in a train. And another thing, the indoors. Every time, yo, you know what? I really have to go find this video where I said this. There will be a situation on the train, and I'm gonna give you an example because this happened to me before. On 59th Street, right? 59th Street going north, on, I believe I was on the A train or the D train. 59th Street going north to 125th Street. It go express. The MTA will tell you to signal for police en route. A 7-minute ride between 59th Street and 125th Street. Trapped inside a train car with someone crazy. You don't know what they're going to do. Each car is a death trap when it comes to the SME equipment, the old trains. The trains that you see on the B line, the D line, the A line. All of the indoors are locked. And what does that mean? That means that you are trapped. That means you are trapped. That means that you don't know what's going to happen. Or if something does happen, how are you going to get out of it? If you look at one of the videos, I'm going to do a more informative video tomorrow when I get to my main equipment. For some reason, my computer over here acting crazy, so I can't get to it. But that was a trap. That was a trap. The riders inside that train car was trapped because the indoors was locked. The MTA need to do something about that also. The MTA needs to do something about that also. Let me share this out. Share out this video, people. Share out this video. Let me share this out real quick. Because this does not make any sense of what's going on. It looked like Ukraine. Looked like Ukraine inside that train car on those platforms. This is Brooklyn, New York. It's pretty wild that nobody's listening to the workers. It's pretty wild that they don't take our safety concerns serious. I had a feeling in my heart that something crazy was about to happen. That's why I encourage my coworkers to go get bulletproof vests. You'd rather be safe than sorry. People make up silly, well, a vest ain't gonna help you if you get shot in the head. Who cares? You tried. You tried. This makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense, people. Absolutely no sense. It's not safe in New York City subways. It's not safe. At one time, Eric Adams was talking about giving us tasers. I wonder how you feel about that now. We are living in a city where there's no real true leadership because real leaders listen to the people who get them elected. If you notice, when it comes to our union, when it comes to our politicians, they don't listen to the people who get them elected. They only come around when they need something for us, and that's more than likely a vote. Why wasn't there no safety stand down in the subways? Why were there trains still moving with this guy's on the move? This guy is still on the move. Why are there trains still running? They helped this guy escape. If you just tuning in, I know you heard 18 people hurt, 10 shot, smoke bombs, uh, allegedly some other type of explosive material. It's a lot of anarchy in the subways, people. But one thing I'm going to tell you guys, we are not going to negotiate our safety any longer. I know for progressive action, we are surrounding ourselves around some powerful people across the country. There's going to be more powerful people that I'm aligning myself with, that they see what I'm doing. They love what I'm doing in New York. And we're going to take back our city. We're going to take back our subway system. Because if they not go listen to the workers, if they not going to listen to the riders, they're going to listen when these trains and buses stop moving. Just the fact, think about it. 3 to 4 hours after the incident, the MTA alerts you that this is one of the most serious things that could happen in the subway besides an actual bomb going off, a mass shooting. And they leaving you in the dark. The same way when that conductor got shot in the face last October, November, they didn't even tell the train crews behind them. It was business as normal. People need to be held accountable for their inactions. People need to be held accountable for their actions. The union was just celebrating the other day with Kathy Hochul over a smokescreen and mirror pension change. Now, let me clear that up real quick. Any good change to the pension is great for the people affected by it. So them going from 10 to 5 years, that was great. But all that other stuff is just a smokescreen to get her elected. It's just a smokescreen to get her elected. But we're going to touch on that later on in the week, because I got to break down to you guys exactly how this stuff is working. Do you understand what's going on? When something serious like this happen, all transportation, specifically speaking, in that area needs to come to a stop. That includes the buses also. Why? Because maybe this guy went up on a bus and the bus is going to be his next target. I don't want to hear talking. I want to see action. Action speaks louder than words. I'm tired of hearing people talk. Why are trains still running? Why? Now we have to worry about copycats. Wait, hold on. Let's thought about something. A couple of days ago, I just posted a video on my Twitter with some people vandalizing the trains in the tunnel. If this guy did have explosive devices, do you know how easy it would be for him to go inside the subway train or up under a subway car and plant a device and blow up this whole city if they wanted to do that? We have absolutely no security in New York City Transit. Absolutely no security. I don't understand how we can even think anything else. The only thing the MTA care about is transportation. And their argument is, well, we're in the business of transportation. No, you're in the business of safety first. Time after time after time after time again, we are negotiating our safety when our lives are at risk. Time after time after time again. Walking on the tracks without proper flagging when the train go in emergency. That's a risk that the MTA is not going to address until someone gets killed. We have no police protection in the system. There's no way in anyone right mind why they could explain to me how a police officer was not at 36th Street, a gap station that has three lines going through it, sometimes four if the W going through it. You have the D, N, R, and sometimes the W. Go through that same point. Why aren't there 24/7 police with face-to-face relief at gap stations throughout the system? They do not care about your safety, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care if you live or die. Because to them, just like the inmates up north in state prison, you're just a number to them. There's no difference between a DIN number and a pass number for New York City transit workers. The only people they care about is the people inside 2 Broadway who make the policy decisions for us. That's the only people they care about. They have showed us absolutely no actions on protecting riders or workers in New York City Transit. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Not one action. Even when you go up to the Union Hall, a lot of people don't know. You go up to the Union Hall, the 9th floor, you cannot access your union offices unless you have a key pass. That is a sense of security. They are secure. The business, the building that the union is in have a security guard. That building is secure. That is secure. They don't care about our safety. They only care about you cleaning up hazardous materials, the movement of these trains and buses, and track infrastructure and all that other stuff. They do not care about your safety. They do not care about your safety. I don't care what nobody say. There shouldn't have been no trains running after that situation took place. Let it be a fight. Let whatever happens, happens. Because you want to know, at that press conference, none of those politicians took the train or the bus to get there. Even before this accident, the people who make the policy on us are, at best, casual riders of the system. I disagree with you, John Smush. You got to blame the police. Why? Because the politicians are not telling the police to go sleep inside our crew rooms, to go lay on our benches, to go hide out and not provide a presence to the people and to the riders and workers of New York City Transit. Stop with trying to blame the politicians for that. Because you want to know what? A lot of people are saying Bell reform, Bell reform, Bell reform. This anarchy been going on in the subways way before Bell reform. It's just that nobody could tell the police what to do. Everyone is afraid to criticize the police. So let's stop with those excuses of the politicians. Not saying that they don't have a hand, but you want to know what? You have some lazy police officers in New York City Transit who are not being held accountable for their actions. They're not being held accountable for their actions. Police officers think they rule the world. They think that nobody could tell them anything. And that goes from the regular police officer to the captain or the police commissioner. They have no clue. They have absolutely no clue. It makes common sense to say police officers need to be at gap stations. It makes perfect sense to say that. I'm upset because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and and I don't be included in a lot of these things that's going on behind the scenes. And now we see what happens, right? Because nobody is not even trying to provide the arguments that we are trying to provide over here. Not one person. Not one person. This makes this is poor leadership at its best. This is poor leadership all around the board. This is poor leadership when it comes to our politicians. This is poor leadership when it comes to our union representation. This is poor leadership. No, let's stop with that narrative saying police are afraid to do their job. Police, that goes back again to the Bell reform. The police and the subways are lazy. See, I got police friends that work topside. They call the topside the police officers that police on the street topside. And then you got the subway police officers. Ask any topside police officer how the subway police officers are. They lazy. They talk about it themselves. This is going on before Bell reform. Anybody who says Bell reform, that shows me that they only paying attention to the media without doing their own research. Stop letting the media control your thoughts. Stop letting them think that Bell reform was the beginning of all the anarchy in New York City. No, it was not. Now, don't get that confused with me saying that Bell reform is not an issue, because it is an issue. But stop trying to give the police an out to say that they're not doing their job because of Bell reform. No, the police been not doing their job in the subways. I get plenty of messages all the time. Oh, why are the police are always on their phones? Now, a lot of people don't know this. Police officers get phones. They answer jobs through their phones. Do they pay attention to their phones a little too much? Yes, but it's a part of their job, right? So I agree with you. I do agree with you on that part. But stop acting like the police just threw their hands up in the air when Bell reform hit the scene. No, we're not going to do that narrative. Metal detectors at every station. That's unreasonable. This is not, the thing is this, right? Once again, none of these crazy crimes are taking place in the face of the police. Not one person, not one of these crimes. You have never heard a police officer shooting someone for someone shooting someone else in the subway system. You have never heard of that. People saying, "Oh, it's unbelievable for a police officer to be on every train." Okay, but why is believable to have 6 officers at the turnstile watching the turnstile on their phones? Why is that? Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Lance. Richard Davey. Richard Davey is going to have a major problem with Tremel Thompson. The new MTA president, he's going to have a major problem with Tremel Thompson because he's coming here. He don't have no plans to listen to the workers. He has absolutely no plans to listen to the workers, and the workers who work in the system 8 to 12 hours a day, no more than any one of these managers in New York City Transit or the MTA as a whole. Why? Because they bring all these fucking fancy people to our system and say, oh, they was instrumental in this. They was instrumental in that. You know why they bring them here? When they be instrumental in hurting the workers, instrumental on saving money. They are not instrumental on listening to the rank and file workers. They are not instrumental on providing better safety services for riders and workers. They are not better at any of that. And being the fact that Richard Davey didn't even mention workers during his press conference and our concerns, he's going to have a problem with Tremel Thompson, because I guarantee you none of your other union reps is going to say that, but I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. Gary, give me the footage. I'll do it. Nobody should be out. If you feel unsafe, you should stay home. Nobody should be in the course of their duties looking over their back, operating their trains, operating their buses, thinking that someone is going to shoot it up. Not one person. Because you want to know what? If you make a mistake today, guess what? They're going to forget about today. And they're going to remember that signal that you hit. They're going to remember that the knockdown that you got on the bus. They're going to remember you having anxiety and possibly getting a customer complaint. They're going to forget about that. I guarantee you, if something was to happen at 2 Broadway, if something was to happen at 130 Livingston, they would tell everyone to work from home until this thing is figured out. I don't care if the city rely on workers to move these trains and keep the system clean. Our family rely on us to return home safe. Our family rely on us to return home safe. Yeah, we all know that we have a job to do, but we didn't sign up for this. We didn't sign up for this. And nothing is going to change until something drastic happens. The union must take a drastic stance. They can't look at this as, oh, this is an anomaly. No, this ain't no anomaly. Look at how many people are getting assaulted and shot in the system. There is absolutely no reason why trains are running. Absolutely no reason. Let the city figure it out. Let Utano figure it out. Let Hoku figure it out. Let Eric Adams figure it out. That is not our issue. That is not our issue. We have two major concerns. That is our safety, and that's the safety of the passengers. Our safety comes before anyone else's safety. Anyone else's safety. Do not let them fool you. If you would like to stay home today, you tell them you staying home, and don't even make up an excuse. Say I won't be able to focus today because of what happened in the subways, and this guy is not caught. We don't have to tell them no BS. Our stomach hurt or all this other crazy stuff. No, no, absolutely not. And the only thing the union should be talking right now is that these trains are not going to move out of the safety of our train crews, our subway cleaners, our station agents. This system needs to be shut down. They should have at least act like they cared and shut it down for the first hour. All trains pull into a station, everybody evacuated out the system. This guy could be anywhere right now about to do a part two. And guess who was his getaway driver? New York City Transit. New York City Transit. New York City Transit was essentially this guy getaway driver. New York City Transit. And we don't have logical leaders. We don't have smart people who know how to think in the moment, right? Everybody over here worried about, oh, if we was to do this, then um we're gonna get fined by the Taylor law. You think if one of us die, our family care about a damn Taylor law? When it comes to safety, you think anyone cares about a Taylor law? We deal with that when we get there. Right now, we got to focus on being safe. This is insane. This is insane. You know, let me see. Let me check something real quick. Because, oh man, oh man, where's Jan Olive at? I got something coming for him. Like I had something else planned for him, but he needs to stand and say the system is not safe. He needs to stand and say the system is not safe. I was gonna go to the next MTA board meeting and address something else with him, but now he got to stand up and say the system is not safe. There's no more playing around and playing games. And I had like a 20-minute talk with him regarding this. I told him, I understand your position, But you must stop lying to the people. That's a fact, Becky. They did not. They didn't even care about Goebel, and the union didn't either. The union didn't either, right? Because trains were still being moved with train with shopping carts on them, right? Now the MTA position is, well, that was an anomaly, and what's the odds of that happening again? We're not going to roll the dice when it comes to our lives, because that's what everyone is doing. That's what the union representatives are doing. That's what the MTA is doing. They are looking at the fact, well, what if this will not happen again? This was an anomaly, right? Now just think about this for a second. Jan Oliva is going out there and saying that the system is safe, but then asking for more police officers. Why would I give you more police officers if you're saying that it's safe? If I tell you to make me a cup of tea and it's sweet already, why would I be asking for more sugar if it's sweet already? And it's just how I like it. The system is safe. My cup of tea is perfectly sweetened. Can I have some more sugar? Well, why would I give you more sugar if you say it's sweet already? Think about the logic in that. Oh, the system is safe, but we want 1,000 more cops because we really know that it's not safe. People, they are playing serious games with our lives. They are playing serious games with our lives. They do not care if we make it home in one piece or 10 pieces. They don't care if we make it home stabbed or with holes in our body. They just focused on the movement of trains and buses, transportation. That is the only thing they are worried about. They are not worried about anything else. They are not worried about nothing else. And us workers, we are not going to get the respect we deserve until we take drastic action. And this was the time for the union to do it, and they dropped the ball. Utano was just the other day saying that the system is not safe, and he won't allow his son and his daughter to ride the subways. But he don't care about us because he allow us to work in these subways under the same conditions. Just think about that. Think about that. I could just imagine his son and his daughter casually ride the subway, or if they do ride the subway, they don't spend as much time as the people that he represent in the subways, right? But the system is not safe enough for his children to ride, mind you, grown children in the 30s. The system is not safe for his children to ride, but it's safe for the workers he represents to work in. Somebody help me make that make sense. Somebody help me understand that. Can someone get some understanding for me with that? How does that work? This is why you know we need some new leadership here. We need some new leadership. We need uh better representatives, and we need people who's not afraid of the MTA. We need our own anarchists. We don't need more go along to get along gang, right? The system is not safe. Every chance that I get in front of the media, I'm going to remind people that New York City transit is not safe, right? Because guess what? Our significant others ride the subways. Our children ride the subways. Our aunts, uncles, and other family members ride the subways. That could easily been one of them. But you know what the NYPD is worrying about? Finding the churros lady. Finding someone who's trying to make an honest living just because they don't have a food permit. The police in New York City Transit is focused on policing poverty. And for some reason, these conservatives, they have somehow linked crime in the subways with people who jump the turnstile. I disagree. I disagree. They trying to relate jumping the turnstile with crimes. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Um, as and they try to scapegoat the homeless, right? On why crimes is happening in the subway. See, they think that we stupid. Well, I'm not stupid. They try to lump all this stuff into one. So a homeless and the EDP is not the same thing, right? A EDP is not necessarily homeless or necessarily living in a shelter. A EDP could possibly have a home with a family. They just having issues, right? And not every homeless person is an EDP. But they try to blend both of these two. One is a living condition for one, and the other one is a mental condition, right? They try to mesh these two, put these two together as if they are the same thing, and they not. The first time I was spit on with a guy in a suit. He didn't appear to be homeless, and he didn't appear to be an EDP. He just appeared to be an angry customer. Second time I actually got spit on. I mean, second time it happened to me, that guy looked like an EDP. He didn't look homeless, right? Um, but they try to blend both of these things to throw us off. Oh, you know what? This is how they look at it. The people who committing the crimes in the subways jump the turnstile. After that, it's either a homeless or the EDP. No regular people, nobody else could be mad in the subway and take their anger out on riders and workers in the system. It's BS. I see it all the time. I see it all the time, people, right? But nothing is going to change until we get some leadership who is won't bend, won't fold, won't shiver, won't shake. That's it. 10 toes down, unforgiving, uncompromising. The MTA don't compromise with us. Did they compromise with us with those bio clocks? Did they compromise with us with certain policies and work rules? No, they don't compromise with us. They don't negotiate with us with everything. They always point to a contract and say, hey, I got the right to do this. Well, you want to know what? When it comes to safety, we have rights too. When it comes from safety, we have rights also. There's no way possible we should be negotiating our safety. We see it with the crimes that's going on in the subways. We see it when it comes to pregnant women on the job. Why are we negotiating a human rights issue when it comes to pregnant women? That's another topic we go talk about at a later date. There's no way possible that in 2022, women who are pregnant, who work in operational positions, do not have light duty positions in this union. There is no way possible. But it just shows you that they do not care about the workers in no form or fashion. There's no way possible. I see someone said they reporting now 16 hurt in the shooting. Whether it's 16 or it's one, the guy should have been caught right now. Why? Because there should have been a police officer at 36th Street. There should have been a police officer at 36th Street. There's absolutely no excuse for me. I have seen time after time after time again of this company not caring about the workers and the riders. Time after time after time again. Every time RCC tell a train crew, signal for police en route, they're telling you that the service is more important than the safety of the riders and workers in New York City Transit. Listen to me clearly. Every time, oh, all right. Every time somebody, every time RCC say signal for police en route, they are showing you that Transportation, the movement of trains and buses is more important than the actual situation that's going on right now. People, I'm not traveling the country for nothing. I am not linking up with these powerful people across the country for nothing. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. And I'm going to bring all this power and all this influence back to New York City Transit in the name of safety, in the name of dignity, in the name of respect. I'm just a conductor. Your union reps is just taking pictures with politicians just to go back to their family because let's be real. We are represented by some cornballs. Let's be 100. I guarantee you they don't got no pictures with nobody prominent before they became union officers. I do. I do. But I'm bringing all of that influence back to New York City Transit. This next year is going to be a year of building for progressive action in Tremel Thompson. We're going to get the respect that we deserve, even if we have to take it. And at that point, I think that we need to take it. And if these union officers cannot do right by the members unapologetically, don't bend, don't break, don't shiver, don't shake. If they can't do what they got to do for us unapologetically, they're going to get out of here. They're going to get out of here. It does not get more serious than this. I don't want to hear about interviews. Where's the hell? Where's the action? Where's the action, ladies and gentlemen? Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Stop listening to what people say that they're going to do and they not going and they don't do it, or they're afraid to do it. This is inexcusable. New York City, this is inexcusable. The riders of New York City Transit, this is inexcusable. You could go back to any video where I talked about safety these past 8 years. It will point back to the deployment of police officers. That is our first problem. That is our first problem. I got to see what's going on real quick. Make sure I got to see if I see any updates right now. I want to address all this stuff in real time. I want to address all this stuff in real time because we don't have no real time fight back here. Of course, they not updating nobody with anything. Of course, they aren't saying anything. This guy's long gone. Right. Ricardo, you're right, right? The system is safe. We have no, I'm bugging. I apologize, people. This is a safe system. It's actually one of the safest systems in the world. Nothing don't happen. You know that person that got shot 2 months ago? The system is safe. Don't worry about it. Those two women that got sexually assaulted in February, the system is safe. Don't worry. I'm tripping. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me that's tripping. Maybe it's me that's just not getting it. The system is safe. These people is crazy. I'm not going to allow them to continue to screw us over and do some BS and make us think that something is when it isn't. You know what I mean? They don't care, right? They do not care. They are. Yo, let me tell you. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. At the least you should stand for is making it home to your family at the end of the day. You should at least stand for safety. Yeah, Cheryl, I actually seen that a conductor got stabbed the other day. I didn't get too many details about that, but why is that such a secret? Why is that a secret? A conductor got stabbed the other day. Why is that a secret? Listen, the information is out there. We move this system. We run New York. New York City Transit, NYPD don't run New York. Yeah, they may give you a courtesy for a ticket. They don't run New York. Sanitation, they don't run New York. FDNY, they don't run New York. They got some very important jobs, but they don't run New York. You know who run New York? New York City Transit run New York. We run New York. We allow people to get money in New York. We control the economic climate in New York. That's one reason why they did not hit us with a mandate. If they would have hit transit workers with a mandate, then guess what? The economic situation would have been worse. We run New York. We must know what our power is. We know how to harness our power. At any given time, transit workers can make this city stand still. No other agency in the city got that power. No other. The only other agency I could see maybe is Con Edison. If they cut all the power, then we all screwed. But when it comes to transportation, nobody got the power like we have the power. What mess, what destroy us is that when you have union representatives who are friendly with politicians and afraid to pull a move on a politician because that politician allows them to take pictures with them. Because that politician may shoot them a text and say, "Hey, how you doing?" every now and then. Right? Now, another thing, hazard pay. I don't see no other job more hazardous right now than New York City Transit. I don't see no other jobs more hazardous right now than New York City Transit. Where's our hazard pay? You don't hear the union talking about that. Now, what I do think is that somehow, some way, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really review the pension, the tier 6 thing yet. I didn't fully review it. I'm gonna fully review it today. I just got off of a red eye flight from Cali, chilling with my friend Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah, I got some nice friends. Um, where's our hazard pay? Right? We if you look at some of those pictures, it looked like Ukraine. You would have thought that this was in a train station in Ukraine, right? Nah, this was New York City Transit, Brooklyn, New York, right? These people, where's our union leadership at? Where's the action at? Where's the action? Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Nah, we do things one way over here at Progressive Action. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. And I'm about to get a y'all the people y'all really have no clue what I got going on right now. But I'm gonna show people what real power look like in a second. I'm gonna show them what real power look like. Some on my trip, I really couldn't take pictures of everything that I did and the other people that I was meeting with and things of that nature. But I'm gonna show them what power look like. Right? There was no working cameras in the system. I told y'all guys that the cameras don't work. Yeah, there's cameras in every station on every platform. We this that. Even if there was, people rob banks all the time with cameras in them. And then you got all this mask usage, right? Everybody wear masks. Everybody wear masks. Everybody wear masks. But prior to COVID, people who wore masks were looked at suspiciously. You will give them a second, third, fourth look. Now, mask is commonplace. Wearing a mask is regular around here, right? So criminals now know that they could wear a mask, cover their face without being detected. Think about that. Think about that, right? Y'all seen um how they operate here. Y'all seen how they operate here, right? I mean, this thing about these cameras, when they had me under investigation for about 5 months, every turnstile that I went through was 4K. Need y'all need y'all to understand this. The cameras was 4K. 4K. Better than 10K. I mean better than 1080p. It was 4K, right? But when it comes to these crimes, you'll get a grainy image at best. Grainy image at best. Oh, I want to say something real quick. If you support this live, you could donate via stars. I see some people donated via stars. Let me see. Let me see. Shout out to Jonathan for the stars. Shout out to Jay Ruiz. Karim, thanks for the stars. Leonardo. Let me see. Hold on one second. Star comments. And Carla, Jonathan, Jonathan Davis, and Jonathan Arroyo, Leonardo, Jay Ruiz, Kareem Wilson. Thanks for the stars. You could donate via stars if you like what you hear here today. But yeah, this is pretty wild. This is pretty crazy. When I get to my equipment um tomorrow, Cheryl, thanks for the 200 stars. When I get to my equipment tomorrow, I'm going to really break down this situation and walk you guys through the videos. I'm gonna also post videos of police sleeping in our quarters again. We're going to talk about the surveillance system in the subway. We're going to talk about how nobody is listening to the workers. I don't know how many times I have to say this. If the workers are not safe, then the riders are not safe. Tremel, what do you mean? Nobody is listening to the safety concerns of the workers, and everyone is going to be affected. If someone can brazenly attack someone in uniform, you think they care about someone who's not in uniform, right? You think that they care about someone who's not in uniform? They don't care about someone who's not in uniform if they hurting people who's in uniform. That makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So and then another issue is that the union is not clearly communicating to the MTA or NYPD our safety concerns. They are not clearly communicating our safety concerns to the NYPD and the MTA, and it's not being taken seriously. It is not being taken seriously. The only way we're going to be taken seriously as New York City transit workers is if we affect service. This was the perfect time to do that. No service was affected, which means that what will it take for service to come to a stop in the name of safety of workers and riders? What has to happen? 50 people shot? A train blown up? What is the threshold when it comes to safety and stopping unsafe work when when it happens in New York City Transit? Why what is the threshold? When do we say enough is enough? When do we say enough is enough? What's the threshold? When is the point that the union representatives put their foot down and say we're not taking this no more? I don't want to hear that, no workers got killed. I don't There was a shooting in our workplace. Our trains are our offices. Our trains and buses are our workspaces. They are our desk. They are our work locations. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? What is the threshold for the union to protect their workers? If the time is not now, then what's the time? This is international news, people. This was a time for transit workers to show their strength because the world is watching. The world is watching what's going on right now with us transit workers. This is international news. This is the second biggest thing besides what's going down with the war. I just want to know what the threshold is. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear but no. What is the threshold? This system should have been shut down just on the safety of the workers and then let everyone else figure it out after that. As a leader, when you lead, you make a decision and you deal with the consequences. It don't matter. This is about safety. This is about safety, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how many times I have to say it because I've been in the media talking about this. Shout out to my brother Alexander Kemp who joined me. Shout out to Lourdes de la Cruz who joined me. We are not safe. People was laughing when we went to buy bulletproof vests. You know, about 50 people had DM me asking about bulletproof vests now. About 50 people. So many people want bulletproof vests now. Right? It must come to an end. And it's not going to come to an end if we don't have the proper representation to make sure that it comes to an end. What is the threshold? Everybody need to ask the union reps that. What is the threshold for you guys to stop service? I mean, we had a worker die. We had a worker get seriously stabbed up on more than one occasions. We have multiple shootings going on at our workplace. Now we have a mass shooting. 10 people shot. Can someone please let me know? Maybe I got it confused. What is the threshold to keeping transit workers safe? What's the threshold? How do somebody texting me? Oh, all right. If you want to donate via PayPal, see people not using, everybody don't use stars. If you want to donate to Progressive Action via PayPal, is $ Progressive Action 100. $ Matter of fact, let me write it. Let me write it in the chat for the Cash App. Somebody just hit me. But this is insane, people. See, people don't understand how I operate. People don't understand how I operate. I'm not into making deals with the devil. I don't make deals with the devil. The MTA is the devil. The MTA is the devil. I don't make deals with the devil, especially when it comes to safety. When it comes to safety, I don't make deals with the devil. Not at all. There should have been uh there should have been a safety stand down. There should have been a safety stand down at the least, people. You said people don't want to understand. Well, that's on them. That's cool. They don't have to understand. Listen, as long as we understand, right? And it's going to get better. It's going to get better. We're going to get stronger. We're going to become more militant. We're going to be 10 toes down at all times. It's coming. It is definitely coming. We're going to make it happen. We're definitely going to make it happen. Oh, for those who ask, I got the Cash App tag pin in the comments. You can send a Cash App right there. But it's coming because really, what is the threshold? Seriously, I see a lot of union reps tapped into this live because y'all worried about what I'm gonna say. Y'all more focused on me trashing you than you actually fixing the situation. What is the threshold to stop service? I don't want to hear that it's not believable or we can't do it because of the Taylor law, because nobody cares about the Taylor law when trains is being shot up, when people are dying. The Taylor law has nothing to do with anything at that point. Utano would never come on Progressive Action TV to make a statement. He don't want to. The day Utano come on Progressive Action TV, it would be the end of his career. He knows that. Somebody says, what's her name, Sewell or Kashant Sewell, whatever her name is. She needs to step up. She's not. She's not capable. See, the police commissioner position is a political position. She don't really know what's going on here. And Eric Adams, he was playing identity politics this whole time. He's more focused on putting women in places and black women in places. He's not really getting people built on aptitude. He's appointing people because he wants to be this new progressive mayor. Oh, all my deputy mayors are women. I put the first black. He wants to say that he was the person who put the first X, Y, and Z. That's Eric Adams. Eric Adams is more focused on grandstanding and saying that he was the first to do something, not aptitude. That's what he's focused on. I was the first to put 5 women deputy commissioners. I was the first to put the first black woman commissioner. I was the first to do X, Y, and Z. I was the first for the subway plan. Now, once again, um, Adams is not doing everything wrong, right? His plan for the subways did seem promising, but he got to realize that um he don't control. He may be the mayor, but that's not him being the mayor and him creating a subway plan is not going to stop police officers from sleeping in our crew rooms and our break rooms. It's not going to stop them from being on their phones. It's not going to address the issue of poor deployment by the NYPD. Once again, like I told you guys, deployment is a major issue. How can how can someone how can someone um get away with a shooting at 36th Street at a gas station? I've been asking for police to be at gas stations for a very long time. For a very long time. But yo, what I need y'all guys to do is to definitely continue to donate to the platform, donate to the Cash App Progressive Action 100. Hit me on stars. You can hit me on stars even after this video is live. Also, what I need you guys to do is to share out this video, share out all the videos. There's going to be a lot of information coming. We're going to seriously take some time to build up the platform to a level people never seen before. And please, the only way to remain safe and vigilant during this time today is to stay home. If you can stay home, stay home. The guy is not caught. You should not be working under anxiety and stress of thinking that something is going to happen on your train, a bus, or work platform. Do not do anything to put your job at danger, because if you make a mistake today, believe me, you're going to get a Dan in the next couple of weeks. They're not going to care that there was a mass shooting on the subway. They're not going to care that you was working under stress or anxiety. They're just not going to care. And when you see a union rep, you ask your union rep, what is the threshold for a safety stand down or to stop unsafe service? I'll catch you guys soon with more information, more videos, more content, and we're going to get this job done. Catch you guys later. Peace.